Yes, okay. We are live.
Yeah.
Where do we start today? Do we start with the fact that Bumrah is back to traumatize us, or do we start with the fact that KL Rahul is back to traumatize CSK? I think let's
Yeah.
start with today's game. I think
Yeah.
that would be ideal. Let's run through the most boring game of the tournament, SRH versus GT. SRH's batting had yet another failure. Mohammad Siraj reminded RCB why RCB should be missing him, despite being the guy who leaked pretty much the most amount of runs in Chinnaswamy last year when they scored 287. Uh, Siraj is back with his redemption arc. He's been performing every alternate year since 2021. That means his downfall year is happening next year.
Yeah, that's an interesting start with alternate year of performance.
Yep.
Yeah. This game, I does SRH have to change their approach at least now?
Look, it's very simple to look at this from SRS's perspective. They can't walk into Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium thinking, today we're hitting 250, today we're hitting 260. You cannot expect a 250 plus score on a pitch that isn't meant for even 170 or 180. It was a very slow pitch, it was a very sluggish surface. I think GT took around 17 overs, almost 17 overs to chase it down. So if it's taking GT 17 overs to chase down the score of 160 in a time frame of in the time frame of around 17 overs, then I'd say they should have targeted 180 and not a 250 score. Like they can't play the exact same way every single
I
time.
think still
Every
like
single time.
they were batting at nearly 10 runs an over. Like it still looks like a good
Yeah,
200 surface.
it is. It could be a 200 surface with the way that SRH is known to play, but they can't try to start banging that ball from ball one when it's still moving around, right? That's where the problem is. Please be on time next time. We can't be on time. What to do? We're trying to put up stories, we're trying to put up
Yeah.
thumbnail and all that shit. Technical issues happen every single time.
Yeah, we need a few editors who could manage our time.
Please, we are
Yeah.
hiring. Give us video editors.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a very simple chase, uh, not too much of an issue for GT. Weird to see Sai Sudarshan and Butler get dismissed early like that. That did give SRH a chance, but it is so awkward that Washington Sundar has come and pasted your team with the bat. That's got to be embarrassing.
Yeah. SRS getting whacked by wash basin Sundar.
At a
Their
strike rate of 170 on a slow surface, where Gill himself played with a strike rate of 140.
their ex teammate getting whacked by wash basin. This team is washed.
Very problematic. Um, yeah, I mean, there's really not much more to discuss here. Maybe the fact that we called that Rashid Khan is going to flop. Rashid Khan is Washid Khan.
Apparently, there's a big fight in the RCB camp. Bhuvi and Hazelwood got into a big fight. It seems they both wanted to bowl first over to get Rohit Sharma out.
You know that Josh D dude that keeps commenting on those other videos with the Ambati Raidu slander. Leander is that guy for Rohit Sharma slander. Not even kidding.
Yeah, but
Poor guy.
is Rohit Sharma playing
We'll
tomorrow?
we'll we'll get to those stats in a bit.
Yeah,
Let's Abhishek is here, right? So I think it's important to talk about the Delhi match as well.
yeah,
We'll get there. I think no, honestly, the RR versus PBKS match. I think all that's there to discuss is the fact that Jafra Archer is back,
yeah.
which is very problematic to see because we're going to play RR in a couple of games now. Nehal Vadera banger, Maxwell decent, not that great, but given the game scenario, pretty decent. Mm,
Yeah,
Sandeep Sharma cooked, Tikshana cooked with the
yeah.
bat. Openers cooked well. Everyone else did their job. There's nothing important to discuss there. The important game is CSK versus DC.
I
CSK
see some CSK
got
fans wanting a preview of Mumbai team. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Yeah, CSK
yeah.
got.
So where do we start? Delhi Capitals
We
are
start
coming
from
in.
Stephen Fleming.
Okay. Let's take over. Stephen Fleming is a good place to start.
Yeah. So after the RCB game, we hear from Stephen Fleming himself that we will decide on the game day what Tala has to offer for the team. He can't bat like the previous times, coming in at 10 overs and playing for 10 long overs. He will decide on the day his entry point himself. He will provide more opportunities. He's backing the youngsters to bat ahead of him. He's backing, yeah, Ashwin is youngster compared to Dhoni. He's backing Ash.
Yeah, youngster only.
Right. So, Tala
Retired
walks in
youngster.
after 10 overs.
After 10
Then
overs, he
he
bats
plays
10
for
whole
10
overs
long
very
overs.
peacefully. And let's also talk about the fact that he's not standing there hitting boundaries. He's running singles and doubles, which require your legs. The
Yeah.
boundaries require a little bit more hands than legs. They do require footwork, but footwork doesn't mean you're putting pressure on your legs. Bro, there is there is no sense in the fact that Tala is out there for 10 overs and he's running so peacefully. And you're telling me that he's coming in after the 16th, 17th over only because he can't run. He has bad knees. He's keeping wickets for 20 overs. He's batting for 10 overs. It is so weird. And let's talk
He
about
comes in straight, plays a solid front foot defense for a spinner.
front foot defense. And he bats and bats and
And
bats, takes the run rate to 25. Cheteshwar Pujara's the fuck out of it. Chipko movement, Salumarada Timmakka, Green Revolution, call it what you will. But I am sorry to say that if you are a team that has no hunger to win trophies and you are still relying on the fact that oh my god we have 5 trophies that we won in the past, let's just have this season for Tala, then I'm sorry to say that you've lost your credibility as a cricket team.
yeah,
That's all there is.
we bashed CSK without Faf plus JFM. Dude, the first 1 hour of the match was just me crying, where was Faf?
Yeah, no, because on our preview, we called straight up that Faf and KL are going to cook them so hard, especially if they bat first. It was very disappointing to see that Faf didn't come out to bat. He couldn't play because apparently Faf was not fit.
Eh, no, that's a lie.
Unfit Faf is not possible. Three
That's a
years at RCB, even an unfit Faf played as impact player with Kohli as captain for 3 games, if you remember.
yeah.
He had a
That's a,
problem with his ribs.
yeah.
And problem with the ribs means schmexy schmexy.
Yeah, and let's talk about that brilliant move of pushing KL Rahul
KL
to
to the top of
open.
the order. Yeah, it could have been Porel, and they could have batted KL at
Could
three, but
have
they went
been
with
4. They went
yeah,
with KL Rahul. They
and
they are
it makes
available
sense only on Chepauk. It makes sense
only
only in
on Chipper.
Chepauk because Chepauk is a place where a strike rate of 150 will pay dividends, massive dividends. And it's an afternoon game. So if you're crossing a score of 165, 170, it's over for the team that's batting second.
Oh man, I'm seeing this all over the internet, like all over the internet. There's only one I word attached to CSK. Intent.
Intent.
Where is the intent? Where is the intent?
So we should make a very clean video about this. I think this is going to take an entire video to discuss. So we're putting it on the cards just before someone else puts it out there. You heard it here first. Every game that CSK has lost this year, they have lost it within the power play. Yeah,
Anything
that
above
is going to be
175 CSK will choke. You can reduce those 5 more runs as well.
yeah. You can reduce 5 runs. You can maybe keep 180 on flat pitches, but as you can't expect more than 165, 170 on a pitch like this. They went ahead with blind sloggers in the auction instead of picking technically sound batters. Deepak Huda is not technically sound. Rahul Tripathi has been washed since 2017. So yes, not since 2021. Even before that, I think since Raina retired, they haven't been able to. Okay, Raina was unsold in 2022, right? Their last chase of 180 plus was in 2020
Yeah.
because so 181 was the last score that they chased with Faf and Watson. But since the target was 181, and yeah, it's difficult to count there.
Yeah.
No, so the 2023 finals, that stat is a little different here. They didn't chase 200 that day. They chased 170 in 14 overs
No, they didn't
because of
chase
the
it that day.
DNS.
They chased it the next
Chased it
day.
the next day, and it was chasing 170 something in 14 overs, so that doesn't count for them. When the score line reads 180 plus, it's over.
It's normal.
Washed
RCB
Star,
Bloods owning
yeah. Look,
CSK is normal.
CSK's first game, Ruturaj
Exactly.
Gaikwad was dismissed, caught by Jacks. Second game, Hazelwood got him out. Third game, Hasranga got him out. Fourth game, Stark got him out. All I'm saying is it might be someone from RCB. Absolute cinema. Solid stuff. I'd say Tala is washed. The entire team is cooked. KL Rahul played absolutely brilliantly. Um, Another thing that we need to discuss here is the knock played by Vijay Shankar, man. This guy comes out and plays the most pujara of innings ever, second only to Tala himself. A
I saw
strike rate of
memes after.
127, 69 of how much? 54, yes.
Not to forget that strike rate was farmed after the required run rate went above
Went
36.
up to 25,
Both
exactly,
Tala and
yeah.
Shankru farmed the strike rate. And I saw a meme somewhere that DC lead the day by 25 runs,
Yeah,
also taking 2 points ahead for the next game.
yeah.
And
that,
Tala
that,
and
that, that was
Shankru,
that was my story. That was my story, lol.
oh yeah, Tala
Yeah.
and Shankru walking like peak
Mm.
PVS and Dravid.
VVS and Dravid. So the start for you guys from over number 11 to over number 18.3. No sixes were hit, and a total of three fours were hit. So it was three boundaries in a span of almost 7.5 to 8 overs. And that is saying something in a simple, meager chase of 160 odd. You shouldn't expect that from,
Yeah,
I mean, not 160, 180, my bad, sorry. In a meager chase of 180, you shouldn't expect your batters to go that quiet in a chase like that.
yeah. Required run rate went over 25. Tala for a reason.
Yeah. And let's not forget that Vijay Shankar was dropped thrice in that game.
Also, we saw the weird smile from Akshar Patel when Shankar
Yeah, the
was
Akshar
dropped.
Patel smile. Yeah,
Yeah, CSK and
I
MI
think.
are finished. It's better we admit it. And yeah,
Yeah,
actually, we told this during our preview itself. CSK has a, on paper, very good squad for their home, but
for home, but you
what
have to
concerns
count
they
out that
had,
Ashwin factor.
yeah,
We'll
what
get to
concerns
Tilak.
they
We'll
had,
get to
the
Tilak.
away
That
games
is
have
important. Yeah,
transferred to their home games. Yeah.
right. So let's talk about. No, I think we discussed Tilak already. No, hey
Yeah, we
Shruti,
discussed.
it's
Shruti
your
missed
fault for
that
missing
live.
the previous live.
Yeah, go check out the previous video.
Put it.
Hmm. All right, with
Right.
that, let's gear up for
Let's
the
let's
important Monday
let's
game.
look at RCB versus MI. Instant stat that you need to look at. Okay, Jasprit Bumrah is back. That is something that we will discuss.
Say it, Ankit. Say it.
Ankit Bopana, you
I'm waiting
may
for
put
your
your
comment.
words in the
I
comments.
want to pin it.
We will pin that. We will pin that as soon as you put in those words.
No, not that.
Um, but the stat that you need to take into consideration here is that RCB have not beaten MI at the Wankhede Stadium since 2015, since the ABD Masterclass of 133. The good thing, however, is that we had a very similar stat about Chepak a few days ago, and
What, Bumrah one big pudanga?
it's all copium. It's all copium, lads. Right. So 2015 was the last time RCB beat MI at the Wankhede Stadium. And I know people are discussing Rohit Sharma's scenario versus Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Josh Hazelwood. But it's very funny that the two biggest battles of this match will be Trent Bolt versus Kohli and Bhuvneshwar Kumar to Rohit Sharma. And the crazy thing is, both of them have dismissed their counterparts only once
Yeah,
in their
I don't know
entire.
why Trent Bolt versus Kohli is even a competition.
Yeah. So
People
Trent
don't
Bolt,
remember
yeah,
uh, the exact New Zealand game, like who took the wickets. They
yeah, it
all,
was Matt Henry, not
yeah,
Trent Bolt.
yeah.
But yeah, so Trent Bolt has dismissed Virat Kohli once, and I think Kohli
That too in a
strikes
Go Green
Bhuvne.
Day day game.
Go Green
He
Day
got
day
for a
game
bold
again. Yeah,
catch.
Rajasthan. Yes, first ball of the match.
Yeah,
But
match was still
it
for wicket.
was, I think he scored 74 of 63 balls against Trent Bolt in his career, and it's come at a strike rate of something around 120. Rohit versus Bhuvi, on the other hand, has come at a strike rate of 132. The bigger thing to watch out for will be Rohit versus Josh Hazelwood, because that's where he struggled more. Hazelwood extracts a little bit more bounce. He brings it in with a little bit more pace, which is what is going to trouble Rohit a little more.
See, my question is, we are doing all this discussion. Is Rohit going to play tomorrow?
Yeah, good question. They played their ideal playing 11 the previous match, which was opening with Ryan Rickleton and Will Jacks. Now, if they choose to leave out Rohit for another game, then I'd say that's a disadvantage for us only. I'm happy if Will Jacks doesn't play, because for some reason XRCB players have a tendency to wake up against us. We saw that with Siraj. I don't want to see that with Jacks again.
A Vada Pav is not Tala, he won't even last 24 balls.
Nah, I'd say 6 runs with one boundary towards
Flying off
third
carpets.
man. Yeah, yeah, towards third man of an edge, and dismissed in the second over by half. Look, if your boy Tilak plays, he should be playing at number three, and they shouldn't move him. This stupid shit of sending Namandir at three, Surya at four,
It
Tilak at
actually
five.
worked out in the last
It
game.
worked. Look, it worked for Namandir, but not for Tilak. Namandir is someone who can come in at five also and belt. Tilak is someone who has to play at three, because he can stabilize the innings around him, and that is something that MI has to realize. He can play a longer innings than Namandir, and Namandir can give you 41 of 22 or something around that range, but Tilak can capitalize on a start like that and take it to maybe a 70 of 42, something like that, right? MI's best bowler right now is
Yeah,
Hardik, which is so
no doubt.
weird. The weirdest thing is that we made the statement during the preview of Hardik taking the new ball away from Chahar and Bolt. And it is crazy that he's been doing so much better than them with the new ball. I mean, with a slightly new ball. I think he comes in during the fifth or sixth over every game.
Yeah, it's sad to see only him being the clutch at this point. He's fielding,
Yeah.
batting,
His fielding, batting, bowling,
reacting,
he's carrying the
doing
team on his own
everything.
shoulders. It is
He has
difficult to
literally
witness
no
the Mumbai
support from the
fans talking trash about him, because honestly, he's doing his very best.
fabulous
Uh,
job.
yeah, I look, the calls that he made in the previous match with Tilak, like retiring out and all that stuff, is definitely not the greatest of calls, but you need to look at how much Hardik is putting in for his own team. And we are all Hardik stands here. We
Uh,
don't take away any sort of credit from Hardik Pandya, because he's been the two biggest assists for India in the two greatest heists in T20 World Cup history have been Hardik Pandya, once with the bat and once with the ball.
yeah. So
So
yeah,
yeah.
are you looking for any changes from both the sides for the next?
Changes, I mean, Rasik Suyash is always a debatable change. You never know how the pitch is going to play out on the Wankhede. But if there is some grass on that wicket, then maybe just go ahead with Rasik.
Yeah. Mm,
Now, I know he's been a little expensive, but we've seen that Rasik is someone who came from the Mumbai camp itself.
Mm.
So if he knows how the Wankhede operates and if he knows how to deal with those conditions, and he's played under the guidance of Malinga, then there should be a little bit more game knowledge with him rather than Suya Sharma.
Yes, Wankhede is
Wankhede
red
is
hot.
a red soil pitch, yes, but they do pull up with some grass. They pulled up with a good amount of grass for the previous game, which is why you saw Chahar, Bolt, and Ashwani Kumar pick up wickets.
Are you missing those 230? Ankit says, give us back 230 wickets, please.
I'm not missing the 230 wickets. It will be equivalent to a 230 wicket in the second innings for sure, irrespective of what they do. I just don't see the same kind of performance from the pitch in the first innings because there will be a little bit more movement and lesser dew.
Okay, I want this stat. So, since 2015, we haven't won in Wankhede. How many of those games have we
Yeah,
batted first?
quite a few. Let me
As
pull
far
this
as I
up.
remember, most of our games were batting first last season at least.
Yes. So even last season we batted first when Bumrah got the fifer. We know that 2015 we batted first and AB got the 100. In 2016, Mumbai won by 6 wickets, which means they chased. In 2017, Mumbai won by 4 wickets, which means they chased. 2018, MI batted first. 2018, MI
2018, I
batted
remember
first.
it. I think Rohit scored
Yeah,
a century or something in that game.
not a century. It
But I
was
think he
not a
belted and
century.
Kohli scored.
He belted a good 90 something in that game.
Let me check.
It was a let me check. It's 94 or 52. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was Rohit and Evan Lewis who carried that, and we were chasing 2-1-3. Kohli's 92 of 62 came in vain with the entire batting order collapsing alongside him.
yeah.
Um,
And
okay,
in
then 2019 they won by 5 wickets. I think,
I
yeah,
recall
they
this
won by five
2019
wickets.
game, there was this stupid player called Akshdeep Nath who denied a
Yes,
2 runs for AB de Villiers who was going
correct,
bonkers against peak Bumrah and Lasith Malinga. I will
correct.
never forgive him.
Akshdeep Nath, 2 runs of 3 balls, shall forever go down in history as the biggest clown level bottle job in RCB versus MI heritage. Now, 2020, 2021, 2022, we don't have to talk about those because they were all outside the Wankhede. Um,
23 and
20,
24 we played, I think
23,
we batted
yeah,
first.
23 we played in the Wankhede and MI won that as well. I think that was a Surya clutch game. Nehal Vadera also cooked pretty well against us.
Faf and
We had
Maxi
a we
clutch.
had a good 199 on the board,
Faf
but
and Maxi were going bonkers that day.
yeah, D bro, you can't forget DK is 30 of 18. That's what finished the job for us.
Yeah.
And it was a rare day where Vanindu Hasaranga actually gave us something with the bat, with two
Mm.
boundaries in the last over.
Yeah.
So
So
it's been largely dominated by MI
there's
chasing.
only one batting second.
Yes,
So the
batting
trend
first.
is
Yeah, for
yeah, so
MI.
this
Yeah,
yeah, so the stat says when the toss, bowl first, chase it, and win it. That's all.
yeah.
Simple template for Wonkley.
True. I mean, if you win the toss and you chase, it is a large job done. What's the point of the discussion? We all know CSK is going to
In one
win the
time.
hearts of all the Dhoni fans. Yes, I completed the statement for you. Next.
Yeah. So
Shruti is saying delusional capitals. I disagree. They genuinely have a good team this time, and I'm a KL Rahul stan, so I ain't saying jack shit there.
mm, captaincy doesn't matter. Rohit won 5 cups because of them. CSK won 5 because of them. Team they had DC will win this with Aksar being the captain. Now Aksar didn't do jack shit in these 3 games.
Look, I will say that captaincy is an overrated factor in T20 cricket for sure. It has a lot to do with, look, the captain's only job in that scenario is to set the right field, right? In ODI and Test cricket, there is a lot more of thinking that goes into those field sets because it's a longer format. You can experiment much more. But in T20 cricket, short span of time, you score runs, your job is done. Um, As long as you have a good bowling
But
lineup, you're
there
kind
is
of
a
sorted with
slight
it.
role of the captaincy in terms of the
Who
right
you give the ball
bowling
to?
changes that he needs to
Bowling
make.
changes, yeah, of course. Look, if you're going in with a team that has the likes of, look, you look at MI 2020, right? It was Bolt, Bumrah, along with peak Hardik and Krunal, and
Pollard.
an informed Rahul Chahar and a Pollard. So that is a kind of team that doesn't require any inputs from your captain. Everybody is a leader by their own right.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's not a large factor in T20s as it is in other format. It is a factor, but it's not as big as it would seem in other forms of cricket. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, spot on. But half of the decisions are made by the management in T20. Yeah, you
Exactly.
have
Yeah.
data analysts for those purposes. It's very predictable with a few
Yeah.
teams, the matchups, the entry points,
Yeah,
left hand.
you. It's a look. It's a very short, fast-paced game. Even tomorrow, you know that Bolt and Chahar will be taking the new ball. Bumrah will be the first change. They will hold back Bumrah's overs largely towards the death. I think he'll hold two in the death, one in the middle, and one in the power play. I think that's ideally how they want to utilize Bumrah. Spin is not going to play a large role aside from the fact that Vignesh Puttur has been a new find and people don't know how to read him yet. Now the analysts are going to be pulling up the same videos of Vignesh Puttur bowling his Chinaman spin, and people will come prepared with you know with a few more net sessions against the spinners. It's all a very predictable line of gameplay. You know that
See,
Bhuvi and Hazelwood will take the first two overs. It's all
with
very
the
straightforward.
evolution of game and how there have been strict guidelines on how teams need to maintain the times between the
Yeah,
innings, it doesn't allow much for the captains to make any bigger decisions in that split second
exactly.
of 1 minute. That's the major point, making the management and the support staff to make more decisions for the captain than the captain making himself. Well, there
Correct.
are a few
Now, look, they will have
few,
a team meeting with a
yeah,
plan A, plan B, plan C. For this person has to bowl. If that person doesn't work out, how do we stop him from going crazy? The
yeah,
fields kind of,
similarly,
yeah, you look at how
similarly,
Ashish Nehra is always standing at the boundary line, right? It's it goes without saying that there is a lot of inputs coming in from the management, and captaincy doesn't play as big as a factor. Maybe in certain cases, like with Tala back in 2018 with a washed team, still clutched pretty well as a captain. I'll hand that to him. That was one of
yeah,
the rare situations where captaincy did matter because you have a bowling lineup of Shardul Thakur, Deepak Chahar, Sam Curran. People don't know these players. He utilizes bowlers really well. Credit where credit is due.
yeah.
Right. Archer, as an Aussie fan, loved the first over yesterday for sure. After Shreyas Iyer belting that beautiful looking shot over covers, you would think that the chase is going to be fairly easy for Punjab, but Punjab bottling the chase from there. We saw another Nehal Vadera masterclass. Archer was looking deadly. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Uh, it will be good for the team as well as Archer if they're using more upfront because he doesn't seem like he's backing his
Skills
uh
in the death. Yeah, they didn't use him in the death.
yeah. So it's better to bowl him in the power play and try to finish up in the first 10 overs.
Should we get Kape on stream?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think fans want Kape on stream. Let's get Kape on stream. Stream
Archer
time.
kept hitting the deck and not just the wickets, but every ball in that over. Yeah, Archer is known for his hit the deck ability. Up front with the hard new Kookaburra ball, he will be dangerous, just like how Cup
Say
is.
hi to the stream. Right. Okay, so solid preview, peaceful half an hour.
Yeah,
Use this as a Kape fan button. Hell yeah, boys. He's our. We should make Kape our official mascot. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
He has some banger pictures with all those RCB flags around him, so we could use those.
yeah. Use this as a couple fan button. Leave that
I
in
can
the
support that.
comment, not the live chat, and so this
Yeah,
appears as a fan button.
correct.
Yeah.
All
Ye-
right, solid stuff. We will cook tomorrow if we win the toss. If we don't win the toss, then our middle order will do something and take us to a respectable score, and then we lose from there. All good, no issues.
Yeah.
Let's
Then
close it
see
out.
you tomorrow and Shubharatri.
Shubhratri, Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.